Patek Philippe 5231J world time in yellow gold. Quite simply, the holy grail for many in the watch community. This is my story of how I came to desire and ultimately go on to acquire this stunning timepiece. My journey with Patek Philippe began in 2019. I was a frequent flyer, traveling with a new personal record of 63 flights in the year 2019. It was the in-flight magazines that I would often read that had the Patek Philippe advert. You know the one, you never actually own a Patek Philippe, you merely look after it for the next generation. It was those two simple sentences that had deep resonating meaning to me and my focus on life. As a man who lives to travel, the 5231J was simply the ultimate watch for me. The center Cloisonné enamelled dial depicting a map of the earth spoke to me in so many ways and instantly spoke to me in the regards of my world travel and desires to travel to every corner of the planet. I simply had to find a way to acquire the watch. The opportunity arose from a grey market dealer in London having one become available and myself getting creative with part exchanges some other watches and topping up with some cash to finally acquire my dream watch. My heart is content and rests easy. The chase is now complete and I feel at ease having ticked a major goal off my list. The watch itself is a self-winding mechanical movement with 24-hour day and night indication for the 24 time zones around the world, which is perfect for world travelers. I can be anywhere in the world and with the click of a button, I can tell the time in the different time zones. The case is yellow gold with a sapphire crystal back. The watch is 38.5 millimeters in diameter and 10.23 millimeters in height. The strap is subtle and exquisite, alligator leather with square scales, hand stitched in a shiny chocolate brown, completed with the Patek Philippe fold over clasp. The Cloisonné Dial enamel is a planisphere in the center of the dial which depicts the map of the earth, and this is crafted entirely by hand. The detail is simply remarkable for its detail, color and depth. However, today Patek Philippe enameled watches are in extreme danger. The craft of enameling is one that takes incredible due diligence and time to perfect. Sadly, the craft is dying rapidly as there are so few individuals able to complete the task. I actually believe there are just 2 people at Patek Philippe who are still able to do this task. And the process of enameling means creating a substance based on silica stand. It is then colored by adding metal oxide, and once crushed into a fine powder, it is mixed with water to create a paste. Once the area that is to be enameled has been prepared, the paste is meticulously applied. Once dried, it is then fired in a kiln at around 800 degrees Celsius, which fuses the metal base and becomes hard and stable. The Cloisonné technique involves fine gold wire of less than 0.5 millimeters in diameter, which is bent to form the map of the earth. The paste is then applied to the various sections and colored. As we all know, Patek Philippe has the highest of standards. A tiny speck of dust, a jolt of or a knock of the kiln, a draft of wind or something like that will be enough reason to start all over again. What they actually say is that the smile of an enameler is something to behold once the enameler has successfully had a piece make it to the end of the process, since so many throughout the journey end up in the bin. The scarcity of the 5231J It is actually estimated that Patek Philippe is producing around 50 of these watches per year. Each piece is unique since the handmade enamelled dial is never the same. Each dial is different. It is estimated that each Patek Philippe authorized dealer receives one of these watches every 2 to 3 years. The 5231J is quite simply one of the most prized and desirable watches in the history of horology. Supply is tightly controlled, with the watch being an application piece. You need to have a lengthy history and demonstrate that you are a serious collector to even be considered, and your application is personally approved by the president of Patek Philippe, Mr. Thierry Stern. The recommended retail price is $79,250. However, because of the scarcity and the high demand for what is surely to be seen as the holy grail of watches for many watch enthusiasts, a like-for-like model from 2021, unworn with box and papers, currently trades for around $105,000. So in conclusion, this watch is truly the one you never sell. This watch is the closing of a chapter and the ticking of a dream from the list. This watch is really, as the saying goes, for the next generation. This watch does not belong to me, but belongs to my daughter and her future children. You never actually own a Patek Philippe. You merely look after it for the next generation.